Hey everyone, I'm sorry for the abrupt ending in my 261 review. Battery died on me. But yeah, just overall I highly recommend it. I do highly recommend you guys check it out. It's pretty decent, both parts. But anyway, getting to something I haven't done in for a while, and that is my monthly opinions. This is my June 2014 monthly opinions on the Sonic the Hedgehog comic book and franchise. Now, first of all, let's talk about the franchise overall. As we know, currently right now at E3, or currently during these past few days at E3, yesterday and today, a lot has been revealed for Sonic, especially over the past few months, with the announcement of Sonic Boom coming to the Wii U, the Nintendo 3DS, and of course the television series as well. And of course they did launch new trailers for the game, as well as just recently today, I think, trailer for the television series, which looks pretty decent in my opinion. It looks like it has a lot of potential and could be a major hit for Cartoon Network, and maybe expand from Cartoon Network to maybe things like Vortex and all that in the near future. So definitely a positive there for Sega, despite how you feel about them. And you can definitely tell that it's a little bit more in its own world, and if they want to blend a little bit into the comic down the line, they probably will. But right now, it's going to be, I guess, its own little world, another time, another place deal if it's adapted into the comics. But it looks very promising. Of course, we get the announcement of a Marina-like character, or look-alike, if you will, but her name is Styx. And we got behind-the-scenes video of who her voice actress is and everything. It looks like Styx is going to be a very interesting character. Very energetic, very talkative at times, but yeah, very. I think this is going to be positive. I think it's going to be a positive thing for the Sonic franchise, having another female character, especially one that could basically relate age-wise to the characters, if you will. But yeah, it's really nice to see a new character, and it looks like, again, this character's got a lot of potential behind her. She will be featured in the show, and she will be a main part of the video game. There is a rumor going around that we might see more characters show up. One rumor going around, I think, is Cosmo possibly appearing in some shape or form. But we don't know yet. And of course there's the possibility of other Sega characters like Shadow, Rouge, Blaze, the Chaotix, you name it. They could all be showing up in Sonic Boom in the near future. We just don't know yet, and we won't have any more confirmation about that until we're allowed to have that kind of confirmation. But overall, Sonic Boom definitely looks like it's going to be a positive thing for Sega. And a positive thing as far as games go. I mean, I know some people might be a little indifferent about how the gameplay is going to be, but you know what? I think some people might, say it's a lot better than having a Mario Galaxy ripoff with Sonic Lost World, despite how good that is. But still, it's interesting. It's got potential, and can't wait to see what the show is going to be like this fall, and can't wait to play the game this November. It's going to be probably one of the first games I buy this November. So, anyway, though, getting to the comic. Like I said in my review for 260 and 261, decent. You basically got a decent start in the first two parts of both the main and the side stories for the next few months for the summer. Just see what we're going to go with there. And apparently by August we are going to see the debut of the Hedgehog side of Sonic. And this is going to be very interesting. You can already tell through these issues, and I think the previous issues, you got characters like mostly Sally. And I know some Sonic Sal haters may not like that, but you got concern with Sally, like she knows something's up, he's hiding something. And I'm not going to be surprised if he does finally reveal to her, yeah, I did inhale some of the gas, but I don't think it's enough to do anything bad to me, and even if it does, what's the worst? So it's going to be very interesting. And the way they had the synopsis for the August issue, which is called Control Part 1 and 2. I think it's going to be very interesting. Either it's going to be a two-parter or a four-parter or whatever. Looks like they're going to definitely do their best to adapt this, and I definitely look forward to it. The cover both ways, the Valiant cover and this new cover, look very promising. So we'll see what happens, and maybe we're going to get exactly what we get in the games. Sonic does go werehog, but he does find a way to control that werehogness, only to let it out when he needs to. And don't be surprised that as this gets to the end, and sooner or later the werehog thing kind of dies off, and the cure is basically made and all that, and he's back to normal. Don't be surprised if Sonic does fight Eggman in his werehog form, and basically in an issue beats the crap out of him, and kind of has Eggman kind of have to reassemble his plans. Like, okay, I'm going to have to come up with a better plan or something like that. But yeah, it's really. But yeah, the covers to both are very interesting and very promising. So can't wait to read those. We also have Sonic Universe seems to be doing really good. We got currently the Knuckles Chaotix thing going for a while. It seems that now they're going to do more like three-part stories in the issues that are going to lead into the next issue, which is going to be another three-part story or something like that. Sounds like that. Sounds like that's the direction they're going in. And of course, we also have the return of Snivelly. That's right, Snivelly is going to be making a return, it seems. According to from what one of the Valiant covers show, he's going to make a return. Mostly known now as Julian. And he has a beard. So that's going to be really interesting. And really interesting to see if he remembers the past world or not. So that's something to look forward to. The comic overall seems to be doing okay, despite what's going on behind the scenes, despite how some people feel about some of the stories and the progressions. We do get an idea down the line that one of the side stories we're getting is going to focus on Bunny and Antoine. Something like a promising. I gotta look at the synopsis, but something like a promising of a new day or something. Some people that read the synopsis for the side story involving Bunny and Antoine in the next few months are kind of worried that it might be the Archie take on Spider-Man's One More Day, and that the synopsis basically says they're dealing with the world-shattering situation and all that at a more personal level. So there's a lot of fans that have been behind this pairing. I've been behind this pairing for a long time, especially when it started back in issue 46. That are kind of worried that this might be, like I say, a take on Spider-Man's One More Day from Marvel, and that it's mainly going to be the possibility that the marriage could end abruptly with this new reality, these new lives starting to take over, these new memories starting to take over, and that the marriage may come to an end because of that. But I don't think so. Some are even speculating that it might be the start of something bigger, maybe something more personal, if you know what I mean, something more family-wise, if you get my drift. So there are those that are dealing with speculating in that direction. So we'll just have to wait and see exactly what occurs. But I'm really looking forward to the next few months, and this summer does promise to be good. And by the end of this month, we'll kind of get an idea of what the fall is going to be like, and going into the holiday season and stuff of what's to come there. And as far as the story arc goes, I know we're getting the Werehog, the Sonic Unleashed adaptation a little sooner than I thought, but I look at it this way. Whether or not the Sonic Unleashed thing is going to be around for a while and he's able to control it, or it's just going to be a short-term deal, this whole world-shattering story arc, if you will, this whole world crisis adventure, to me, it's gonna end at 275. I feel that's where Ian's going. Why would you basically start this, if you will, at mainly 252, if you will, if you want to look at it that way, and want to end it before you get to your anniversary issue. You don't want to do that. And to me, I think that's exactly what he's planning. Just my opinion, but I believe Ian Flynn might have planned to do something for 275. Because let's not forget, originally, Ian Flynn wanted to carry on the Mecha Sally story arc, World Tour II Death Egg Mark story arc, or just overall Mecha Sally arc. He wanted to carry that on to at least maybe 275, 300. Let's not forget that. But he couldn't do that because of the behind-the-scenes situation between Ken Penders and Archie Comics. So he had to alter that to what we have now, and mainly, I think he's going to do his best to make up for it, and I believe 275 is going to be where he makes up for it by bringing this whole world-shattering story arc, if you will, to an end right there. I believe he's got something planned what's going to involve both comics as we get closer to it, and it's going to come all to an end, all to a climax in 275. Now, I know some of you might say, well, what if that doesn't happen? Some of you are probably asking that. Well, I believe if that doesn't happen, he's got something else up his sleeve. If it's not the direction he's going in, I believe what he's got up his sleeve, I will say this, if it's not, if it, and it will, and I don't know if it'll climax or kind of really get, be brought to the forefront or, like I say, come to a conclusion in 275. But I do believe, and again, you've seen it already with like 260, 261, and even before that, you could tell that he does want, and I know there's a lot of Sonic Sally haters out there, but he is slowly starting to put Sonic and Sally back together again. And you might say, well, that's not going to happen because Sega won't allow it. Well, you know what? The rule, there's a loop in that rule. The loop is they can be together, it just cannot be on a permanent basis. It's got to be temporary. It's like, okay, let's say there's a big mission, big world crisis thing like right now in the comics. They have to put that relationship on hold and just focus on being freedom fighters. Focus on being friends and being freedom fighters instead of being boyfriend-girlfriend. But I believe, you just see the hints here, and it's my opinion, he's slowly building to that relationship being back together. Call me cuckoo, call me out of my mind, call me crazy, but as a fan that has read this comic almost seemingly since the beginning, and has subscribed to this comic since issue 72, and has read this comic mainly, especially with Endgame, I truly feel we're going to get that. We're going to get that happening really, really soon. I feel we're going to get it happening really soon. Probably